Explore applications of technology and medicine. See how experts prevent, diagnose, and treat today's most traumatic illnesses. Discover the latest breakthroughs in healthcare on World Business Review's Health Journal Television.
Welcome to Health Journal Television. I'm Alexander Haig. Diagnostic imaging is becoming big business, with more and more physicians ordering scans of all kinds for their patients. Obtaining the most comprehensive diagnostic data is allowing them to better define disease and expedite treatment. Joining us with more on positron emission tomography is Randy Skiles, President and CEO of Shared PET Imaging. Welcome, Randy. We're delighted to have you.
Well, thank you very much.
Now, Randy, tell us what diagnostic imaging really is.
Diagnostic imaging is the science of producing images, whether it be CT, MRI, or PET, anatomical or metabolic, to physicians to help them to determine exactly what the patient's problem is.
Very good. Now, what are the biggest challenges facing this industry today?
As a company, for us, it's internal as well as external. Internally, we deal every day with lowering reimbursements from the Medicare, the insurance carriers, and externally, as an industry, as medicine as a whole, we have to deal with how to cover insured patients as well as uninsured patients or underinsured patients. And diagnostic imaging today is a $100 billion industry. As that industry is at the forefront of all medicine, we have to consider how to rewrite the algorithms so that we can do it in a cost-efficient manner.
Good. Now, for more, let's go to this Health Journal Television field report.
PET is the acronym for positron emission tomography and goes beyond traditional diagnostic testing such as X-rays, MRI, or ultrasound. This important tool, used to detect cancer, is not readily available, and one company is trying to change that.
Until about 4 years ago, PET scanning was unavailable to most hospital centers in the United States. At approximately that time, mobile technology became available and took PET scanning out of the arena of large academic institutions and made it available to the average citizen in the United States.
Coupling other anatomical images with the physiological images obtained by PET scans gives doctors precise interpretations and treatment options.
One of the important questions that physicians are seeking when they initially diagnose cancer is, where is it? And then later, how well is the treatment we are using affecting the cancer? PET scanning is unique in that it is the most sensitive technique that we have that detects where the cancer is and how the treatment we're using is working.
There are numerous benefits for both physicians and patients.
Acceptance now is, I believe, at a very high level amongst physicians. And in terms of the patients, they're very, very anxious to find out exactly how the cancer is going to impact their lives.
Going mobile is a cost-effective way to serve the medical and patient populations.
Hospitals mostly cannot afford to purchase the most expensive equipment and to update their equipment on a yearly basis. PET scanning in a mobile setting has allowed many community hospitals to offer that to their patients at a reduced price.
By bringing these portable PETs to hospitals, costs are saved as well as lives. For Health Journal Television, I'm Jamie Mahler reporting.
All right, now, Randy, how has PET changed the face of diagnostic imaging today?
PET, as a new modality available to radiologists, have been able to allow physicians to order a metabolic scan. Today, you currently would use CT or MRI, but you're only going to get anatomical structures. With PET, it's metabolic, so we can actually tell what's happening with the cells. And we can tell cancer, for example, we can be able to pick up cancer at the very earliest stages. Right. Alzheimer's, we can pick up 5 to 7 years earlier because of the metabolic activity within the brain.
Now tell us about how Shared PET Imaging offers product, service, and education.
Shared PET Imaging was formed with the concept of providing this type of imaging. It's a very expensive modality in a very cost-efficient manner to our facilities. Currently today, hospitals can go out and purchase this equipment at $2 million plus, with $1 million worth of, or $1 million a year in operating costs. What we do is we provide this technology in mobile environments. They're put inside of customized medical coaches, taken to facilities 1 day at a time or 2 days per week. They can avail themselves of that technology, our technologists, our services, in the most cost-efficient manner. For example, if we provide that service to them 1 day per week, we will do it on a fee per scan. Thus, then they bill the patients and without having to have that technology inside their hospital.
Right. Now, what about special software you have developed to make this process turnkey?
When we started looking at PET, we realized that PET by itself as a modality needed to be coupled with anatomical imaging. So we set about developing our own software to do that very item, taking images that were performed inside the hospitals on, say, the hospital's CT scanner, and then coupling it with the metabolic images that we provide with PET, so that the physician would get an exact location of the tumor, for example, so that when they're setting their treatment, then they could be exact. They wouldn't be setting a treatment that would harm healthy tissue when they were doing their treatment cycles.
Very good. Now, tell our audience about your unique joint venture with hospitals.
Today, we have a number of hospitals that are that desire this technology inside their facilities, and some of these facilities aren't economically capable. As I said, it's a very expensive modality, very expensive to operate. So we offer a joint venture arrangement to certain hospitals that have what we feel is a well-established cancer center, a well-established program and market, and then we will come in and help them through that process. We will buy the equipment, for example, and joint venture with them by providing all of the management services and the equipment.
Good. Now, why is this partnership set up this way? Don't they want their own scanners? Want to control and own?
Sure. We have a number of hospitals that have looked at this, but their margins are shrinking. The hospitals today deal with health care as it is, and so the margins have shrank to a point in which they have to be very careful with their capital. And we offer up a solution for them to be able to take this technology inside. Now, we don't take this to everyone. We just recently established an in-house system at a cancer center in Brooklyn, New York. And that center is the only full cancer center in the borough of Brooklyn.
Yeah. Right. Now, what has been the reception to the mobile aspect of what you do?
Mobiles have been around for almost 30 years. Right. Back in the 70s, CTs were first put into mobiles to take to hospitals that really couldn't afford the technology. Then it moved into MRIs, now into PET, but every technology that's available to the hospitals, cath labs, have been put into mobile configurations and taken to hospitals. Hospitals have to conserve their capital in order to be able to stay in the business and maintain their market share. They can't afford to let other hospitals in their area have technology that they can't access. They want to keep patients close to home in their support systems, and that's what we offer.
Right, and I guess this mobile concept enables you to more efficiently utilize the machine by scheduling full days worth. Huh?
Absolutely, and that's really the secret, if you will. When you take a look at something that's $2 million and another $1 million to operate it, if we can operate that unit 6 and 7 days a week, it makes a lot more sense. The hospitals will schedule the patients, or we will schedule the patients. We have our own scheduling department, and we will take the system to that facility. We take all the services with us. We're JCHO accredited. We're in compliance with the NRC and all of the state statutes. Right. So we can provide the service without the hospital having to provide those.
Good. Now, diagnostic imaging as a whole, how does it fit into preventative medicine?
I'm glad you asked that. Diagnostic imaging is at the forefront of medicine. Today, healthcare is as an industry, if you will, and I tend to think of it as health and health care. If we all maintain our health, for example, exercise, good diet, we do all the right things that we know how to do. We can read it, we can get it off the internet, and that's your health. Health care comes into play when you have a problem. And today, the uninsured and the underinsured in this country is roughly 42 million people. We have 72 million baby boomers going to go on the Medicare rolls beginning in 2008. And how do we deal with that influx of new Medicare recipients? As Americans, we have an entitlement mentality, and we've worked our lives, and now we should reap those rewards, and thus we're looking for the best health care. Right. But we have to be more responsible with our own health care, and diagnostic imaging gives us ahead of time an answer to that. For example, my father-in-law belongs to an HMO here in Florida, and every 6 months he has to go through a preventative checkup. Its sole purpose is to determine if he has something wrong with him before it occurs or becomes something more expensive or, in some cases, irreversible. And that's where diagnostic imaging plays its biggest part.
Mm-hmm. Now, where is healthcare in America going, and how does this affect your business as you look at the overall trends?
Well, with 72 million baby boomers going on the Medicare rolls, that should be in our business as diagnostic imaging. We have a lot more patients to deal with, but the economics don't bear this out. Medicare has determined that diagnostic imaging is such a huge portion of the Medicare bill, if you will, that we have to find better ways to utilize the equipment that we have. We have to find better ways for hospitals to bring those patients there, not allow hospitals and physicians to purchase equipment that they can't fully utilize. We need to be a little more careful in how we go forward into the future and spend those health care dollars.
All right. Now, at this juncture, Randy, we ask our guests to take our viewers into the future and ask for a prediction of what you see coming down the road in your business over the next year or year and a half or so. Okay. So what would be your vision of this future?
In looking into the future, healthcare is growing in expense to employers as well as to the consumers. The HSAs, the health service accounts, are allowing consumers, the employees, if you will, to choose their physicians, choose their providers, and better handle their health care costs. They're becoming a little bit more aware of that through the internet and other sources as to how to go about providing health care to their families. Unfortunately, employers have joined the ranks of not providing health care to their employees. It used to be that an employer of 25 employees would provide health care or at least participate, and that number has moved up to, believe it or not, 400. Many employers, 13% of the employers, are now moving away from providing health care to their employees. So we have to find ways in order to provide that health care to those employees as well as the baby boomers that are now reaching Medicare age.
Very, very important. Now, unfortunately, the clock tells me, Randy, that we're going to have to terminate this very important and very interesting subject and highly dynamic subject. But before doing so, I want to thank you for your very fine and very clear-headed presentation today.
Well, thank you. It's been my pleasure.
Thank you. And thank you for watching. Until next time, for Health Journal Television, I'm Alexander Haig.